Your phone buzzes before breakfast. A wire has landed, $100,000. Same 6 figures, same commas, same number that in your head still sounds like success. Now imagine that exact wire landing in 6 different countries at the exact same second. In one place, you are quietly below average. In another, you stop cleaning your own house, stop driving your own car, and stop waiting in lines other people still have to wait in. Same money, completely different lives. So stay with this, because the question is not, is $100,000 a lot? The question is, where did it land? You arrive in Zurich with a suitcase, a fresh work contract, and the private confidence of someone earning 6 figures. Then the train leaves the airport exactly when the board says it will. The streets look washed, the lake looks staged, even the silence feels expensive. For the first few hours, you feel rich. Then the apartment search starts. A plain flat, nothing dramatic. Clean floors, white walls, maybe a balcony if you're lucky. The kind of place you would describe as normal anywhere else. Here it swallows your budget with no apology. At dinner, you open the menu and do the conversion in your head. You pretend not to. You look calm, but your eyes keep falling to the cheaper thing. And then the insurance letter arrives. Not a medical bill. Not after surgery. Not after an emergency. Before you have seen a single doctor. In Switzerland, your $100,000 becomes about 79,000 Swiss francs. But the average Swiss household pulls in roughly 124,000 Swiss francs a year. So before your boxes are even unpacked, your 6-figure income has been translated into something else, a below-average local household. That is the first lesson. Income is meaningless without its denominator, because the number on your paycheck is only half the sentence. The other half is the price of the world around you. And Zurich is the first place where the money taps you on the shoulder and says, you are not as big here as you thought. The monthly health insurance bill makes it even clearer. Mandatory private coverage averages about 465 Swiss francs per adult per month. It arrives like clockwork. Quiet, formal, unmoved by your confidence. But here is the part that complicates the story. You are not buying nothing. The trains work. The streets feel safe. The hospital system is excellent. The public order is so present you stop noticing it, like oxygen. You feel poor on paper, but rich in things no salary line can show. Zurich teaches you the first hard truth. Money does not buy goods in the abstract. It buys life at local prices. Now the same wire lands back home in the United States. The number looks right again. $100,000. This is the number you were raised to recognize. The number in the career articles. The number your parents used as shorthand for doing well. The number that sounds like the finish line when you are broke. And to be fair, you can breathe here. You are above the middle. You are not choosing between groceries and the power bill. You can replace a tire without a family meeting. You can book the dentist and not treat it like a financial event. For context, the U.S. median household income is about $83,730. So $100,000 puts you comfortably above the middle, around the top 35% of households. That sounds strong. Until the house appears. Not a mansion. Not a waterfront fantasy. Just the normal American dream in its most basic form. A front door, a mortgage, a street you can picture your life on. And somehow, it is still just out of reach. Because $100,000 no longer buys the median American home. Affording the typical, roughly $412,000 house recently took an income of about $113,000 to $115,000. So you are above average, but the average dream has moved ahead of you. This is the American baseline, comfortable, not free. Rent is manageable until it jumps. A mortgage is possible until the rate changes. Your health insurance is welded to your job, and you can feel the weld. Lose the job, and the math does not just bend. It cracks. You are not poor, but you are one bad email, one reorganization, one company-wide meeting from seeing how much of your stability was borrowed from an employer. This is where $100,000 becomes emotionally confusing. You can afford dinner out, but not carelessness. You can build a life, but not ignore the system around it. You can look successful and still feel like your whole lifestyle has a load-bearing wall labeled job. The lesson here is simple. In America, $100,000 is solidly upper middle. It is not rich. It is the baseline you were taught to measure yourself against. And unlike Switzerland, where high prices come bundled with thick public systems, here your paycheck has to carry more on its back. Healthcare, childcare, college, retirement. The number is bigger than most people's, but it has a long list of jobs to do. Hold that thought because the next country does something strange. It makes you richer without you earning a dollar more. You land in Tokyo at night. The city glows in layers. Vending machines hum on quiet corners. Trains slide in and out with a precision that makes lateness feel almost rude. And the same $100,000 suddenly stretches. Not because you worked harder, not because you negotiated better, because the currency moved. With the yen near 160 to the dollar, your income becomes about 16 million yen. The Japanese median household income is about 4 million yen. So your same American paycheck now sits at roughly 3 to 4 times the local median. Nothing about you changed. The map changed. That is the strange magic of earning in a strong currency and spending in a weaker one. The raise does not arrive from your boss. It arrives from an exchange rate. You rent a place in Tokyo, and the mental whiplash begins. A Tokyo apartment can run around 96,000 yen a month, about $600. Not a palace, not luxury, but central enough, clean enough, connected enough that your American brain keeps waiting for the catch. You eat out without flinching. You take trains that feel like infrastructure from the future. You walk home late and feel the kind of public safety that changes your posture before you even notice. The same income that made you merely comfortable in America now gives you margin. Margin is the real luxury. It is the space between the bill and the panic, between the menu and the math, between wanting something and needing to check 3 accounts first. Tokyo gives you that space. But it also teaches a sharper lesson. Geography can move your income more than effort does. A weak local currency is a silent raise for anyone paid in a strong one. And beneath the cheap meals and affordable rent, there is another layer you are not buying directly. Safety, healthcare, transit, order. Again, the paycheck is only part of the story. The city itself is paying you in reliability. Now the wire lands in Italy. The morning starts with a small coffee at a counter, stone streets, shutters open above you. Someone is arguing warmly about something that does not seem urgent. For the first time, your money does not just buy more, it buys slower. Your $100,000 becomes roughly 85,000 euros. The Italian median household income is about 31,700 euros a year. That puts you around 2.7 times the median and well into the top tier. You feel it immediately, not as a gold watch, as time. A long lunch no longer feels like theft from productivity. It feels like the point of the day. A walk through town is not exercise squeezed between obligations. It is transportation. It is culture. It is a tiny rebellion against the idea that life must be optimized to count. Housing changes too. Across much of Italy, homes average around 2,100 euros per square meter nationally. A generous 100 square meter place can sit near 200,000 euros. Suddenly, 1 year of your income looks like a real bite out of an actual home. Not a theoretical home. Not a dream on a mortgage calculator. A place with walls, windows, and a table where people linger. Healthcare is there through the national system. Beautiful towns are walkable by default. Food is not an upgrade package. Public holidays are not treated like a personal weakness. This is the level where the definition of richness starts to shift. Because in the earlier countries, the question was, can you afford the life? Here, the question becomes, can you feel it while it is happening? The lesson is that past a certain point, purchasing power should buy time and ease, not just a bigger pile of things. Italy turns $100,000 into a different kind of affluence. Less armor, more sunlight. Now the wire lands in India. The first thing you notice is not an object. It is other people's time. The doorbell rings in the morning. Someone comes to cook. Someone else cleans. A driver waits near the car. Errands that used to chew through your Saturday simply vanish from your calendar. You do not become richer by owning more things. You become richer by getting your hours back. Here, Your $100,000 places you, comfortably, inside the top 1% of the entire country. The income that just crosses into India's top 1% is only around $22,000 a year, so you are earning more than 4 times the cutoff to be there. That sentence should feel heavy, because this is where purchasing power stops being cute and starts revealing inequality. A fully staffed household, cook, maid, and driver, can run around $7,000 a year. Under 10% of your income to stop cooking, stop cleaning, and stop driving. In the West, that would be fantasy money. Here, it can become a monthly line item. Private school becomes the default. Private hospital becomes the default. Waiting becomes something other people do more often than you do. This is the cleanest version of the deeper truth. Money is a claim on other people's time. Not in theory. In your kitchen. In your car. At your gate. Where labor is expensive, $100,000 buys appliances, subscriptions, convenience around the edges. Where labor is cheap, the same $100,000 buys human hours directly. But the bargain has a shadow, because you are not only buying luxury, you are also privately buying what the public system may not reliably provide: school, healthcare, security, backup solutions, a smoother path through daily friction. The staffed life feels like abundance, but it is built on a world where your money can command time, because other people's time is priced low. This rung makes you powerful. It should also make you quiet. Then the same $100,000 lands in Lagos, and the whole story changes. Not because you are merely rich now, because the boundary between your household and the state begins to blur. Your $100,000 becomes about 137 million naira. That is roughly 124 times Nigeria's economic output per person of around $800, and about 165 times the national minimum wage. Locally, you are not just doing well, you are in another atmosphere. The gate opens, the guard nods. Behind the wall, the generator waits with a tank of diesel. There is a borehole for water, a private clinic you trust, a private school you pay for, a private system for almost every public promise that failed to arrive. Then the lights go out. For other people, this is the moment the day changes shape. The fan dies. The fridge warms. The shop pauses. The phone battery becomes a countdown. For you, the generator coughs awake. The room flickers, then settles, and you keep going. More than 40% of Nigerian households run private generators, spending an estimated $14 billion to $22 billion a year on fuel, because about 43% of the country, around 85 million people, lacks reliable grid access. That is not just a utility problem. That is a parallel country. And at this level, your wealth buys you a private entrance into it. Power is private. Water is private. Security is private. Healthcare is private. Education is private. You do not just live in the country, you run a tiny private one. This is the full inversion of the latter. In Zurich, you felt almost poor, but the public goods were so strong they carried you. In Lagos, you are extraordinarily rich, but the public goods are so fragile that you must carry them yourself. That is the hidden layer inside every salary comparison. It is not just what your money can buy. It is what your money must replace. 6 countries, 1 number, 6 completely different lives. And here's the part nobody says out loud. $100,000 was never an amount. It was a question. How much of the world around you can it command? In Zurich, it barely covers the life around it. In Lagos, it buys you a private state. The money never changed. Only the world it landed in did. And that is true far closer to home than you think. What you earn means nothing until you ask what it has to buy, and what your country already hands you for free. Wealth was never the number on the check. It is the distance between that number and the price of the life you actually want. So before you go, tell me in the comments where in the world you are and whether $100,000 there would feel like a fortune or barely enough.